Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Some of you are hiding from me. Hi, Hillary. How are you?
Doing really well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So just some reminders. I'm going to remind you now, and then I'll remind you at the end because I'm assuming that we'll get more people to join. First of all, this is a Q&A. So it is for your benefit, just to get some questions answered if you have any. And I wanted to remind you that the Winter Park and the DeLand Parade are coming up. They're both on the same day. You are not expected to attend both. You're not expected to attend either. It's great if you can. These are great promotional times for New Horizons to get our dogs out there. Usually we try to have puppies at the parade. So that's a possibility. We have Robert built a new little wagon to carry the puppies in. So that's all coming. Christy is sending out, she's really focusing on them because there's only like 18 days from today till the parade. And so I know she is looking for a DeLand coordinator, just somebody who is the contact person. Christy will do all the footwork. She just needs somebody who will show up there and say, yes, we're New Horizons, so everybody knows where you are. I think we have one for the Winter Park one. So basically it's just showing up in your holiday garb and your dog maybe being decorated up as much as possible. These parades are both a lot of fun. Winter Parks is in the morning. We don't have specifics, but it's usually around 8 is when we show up, and the parade goes off around 9ish. And then the DeLand parade is, I want to say 6. That's what it's been, 6 or 6:30. And we have to be there around 4:35, somewhere in there, because you have to be in place. Parking isn't usually a problem, but some of you might want to coordinate where one person parks at the end where the parade ends, so that not all, because it is a hike back. If you want to get your steps in, it'll be perfect, but it is a hike back to, if you park at the where you're meeting and nobody's at the other end. I do not think we've done a float in the past. We're not doing a float this year. It's just walking for both of them. The only thing we'll have that will be pulled is the wagon for the puppies. So just, that is December 3rd, right? Yep, Saturday, December 3rd. And like I said, one is in the morning, one is in the afternoon. I know some of you are like way out of town. I get that. But if you are on here this evening and that's something you're interested in participating in, please respond to something that Christy has sent out so she knows. So we had a eye exam clinic over the weekend, and something I noticed on some of our dogs, I'm not talking about our razors because I think you guys have it, but please really pay attention to your dog's paws. We had several people who their hair was just growing through. I actually met a family today, and I think sometimes when they go out to recipients, they just don't always know. You really have to pay attention to their feet, especially the hair that grows through their pads. So just be mindful of that. If you're raising a dog, the Goldens especially grow a lot of hair. They come out the end of their foot, and we call them Grinch feet at the end. And so we just like to keep those trimmed. I know we've talked about that before, and we'll continue to talk about it because it's an issue. But I did see several dogs over the weekend that was an issue. And actually just got done meeting a family this afternoon and trimmed their dog's feet and showed the mom how to do it so she could get it done. That was a dog that's in service. And they just didn't realize that that's something they shouldn't let go. So just be aware of that. So it's your turn. Anybody have any questions or comments or things that your dog has done well? Those are things we want to know also. Something you've done and you have a question about.
I have a quick question. When filling out the monthly reports, I'm never quite sure where to rate corduroy, because most of the commands he is getting pretty good at, as long as he's on a leash. But if he's outside doing what he wants to do in the backyard and you tell him to come, he's not doing it if he doesn't want to. If you tell him to leave it, he's not leaving it unless he wants to. But on a leash, he does it. So where would I rank him? What would I
Well, I
say?
wouldn't give him a 4 because it's 1 through 4, right?
Well, yeah, no. Yeah.
I might give him a 2 or 3, that it's something
Okay.
you're working on or that he does do, but he needs, I can't remember what it says. He needs
Yeah,
encouragement
correction
or
or
needs
whatever.
correction. Yes. So I would
Okay.
end up giving him a 2 or a 3.
All right. So it has to get a 4. They have to do it whether they're on leash or not.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. That helps.
Every time.
Thanks.
That's yes. Good question. Because we all have to fill those out. And I always have to think, am I working on that command? Am I doing that? So it's okay to put haven't worked on it if you don't work on it. So then it's something to be aware of. And it's okay to put 1 in progress. I mean, Kayak's 11 months old and he's in progress with several commands that are on that list. Some he's mastered, but a lot he's still at a 2 or a 3. So if your dog is older, so like Kelly just said about Corduroy, well, Corduroy's still a puppy. So those are things they're still working on. If you guys have older dogs who've been in prison, you should be able to go through pretty much that list of commands and they should be a 3 or a 4. Not all of them, David, not all of them. We know Andy's he's a challenge, but a lot of them, they should be able to. Hi. Well, hello there. Yes. Hi, Bubby. So you have to I really try to look at it closely and say, okay, where does my dog fit in here? And some of them, if you haven't worked on them, you haven't worked on them. That's, just be honest so that they know. And then please be sure in those evaluations where they give you a chance to comment or write in something if you've had something happen, or if you're having something happen consistently, please put that in there. So when they go back at some point down the road and we look and we go, oh, geez, this dog has been doing this all along, then we know it. Those notes are very helpful. Other questions or comments?
I got something about Canyon.
Okay. Hi, Jules.
Hi. So every time we go to feed him, it's like he's starving. And when we let him in, after he eats and goes to the bathroom, he goes straight for the dog food for the other 2 dogs. So we constantly have to keep it up. Is that something he's going to grow out of, or is he just one of those fatty dogs that just doesn't get full?
It varies by dog, because I have a 6-year-old Quinn who, as soon as Kayak finishes his food, she goes right over to check his bowl to make sure every morsel is gone. So, and I have to stop her if Kayak doesn't finish his around the same time. I have to stop her because she would go and eat his, and she's 6. Some dogs grow out of it, some dogs could, but usually when there's multiple dogs in the home and you're feeding multiple dogs, and especially a puppy, they want to see what they want to partake of everybody's. That's what I have found. And I have to stop them from partaking of everybody's. When the dog gets older, it's possible he could outgrow it. It'll really depend. If there's just one dog in the house, it's not an issue. But when you do have multiples, they like food. They're food driven animals. And it might be down the road that it becomes not a big deal. It'll depend on his training, as it goes. So, yeah, because I've had dogs who eat theirs with multiple dogs, feeding multiple dogs, and the one dog will just walk away. When they're finished with their meal, they walk away. Not Quinn. She checks everybody's. So it depends on the dog. So I would just make sure he's not bothering your other dogs. Like, that shouldn't be a thing, because we don't want your other dogs to get upset at him for just doing something that's natural. So yeah, you have to decide, can he go over and check out their bowls, or should I not let him do that based on how my other dogs feel? Go ahead.
We feed them separate. So Canyon, he eats and goes to the bathroom almost immediately. So we usually feed him outside by himself. And then the other dogs, you know, they eat when they're hungry, so we kind of leave theirs down. But when we know Canyon's gonna be, you know, loose in the house, roaming with us, we kind of put food up. But every time he goes and checks, you know, where the other bulls are to see if there's anything.
Yeah.
If we forget to put it up, he starts scarfing it down.
Yep. That's pretty natural. I mean, it is. And like I said, it depends on the dog. You know, I mean, Quinn went in, she's sick. She went into somebody's, where were we? We were at somebody's home recently, somebody that I'm friends with, but she went right in their house and ate their dog's food. It wasn't very much because it's a little dog, but she ate it. And my friend was like, oh, good. I'm glad she ate that because so-and-so wasn't eating it. But, you know, it depends on the dog. So if you don't want Canyon eating your other food, it's eating your other dog's food, it's probably smart to feed him outside. And then put the other food up when he's around because he's going to be interested in it. You know, some of these dogs act like they're starving and we know we feed them twice a day plus treats. So they're not starving for sure. Good question though. I don't know if I can stop my little 6-year-old from checking everybody else's food bowls out. Huh, Quinny? Yeah, I don't think so. She's looking at me like, what? Who, me? All right, what else? What else?
I'll ask
Oh.
a silly question.
Nope, there's no silly questions. Go ahead.
So over the last month or so, Valdosta has insisted on carrying stuffed toy with him when we go out on a walk.
Mhm.
Is there any reason I should discourage this?
No, he's carrying something.
It's like his comfort. Yeah. If whenever he picks up his duck and he brings me his duck, it means he wants to go outside and he will not walk out the front door if I take that duck out of his mouth. He insists on carrying, he'll carry it on the whole walk and we'll
He'll
bring it
carry
back
it the whole
inside,
way?
lay it down.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
he'll carry it the whole time.
Good for him.
But I just don't know if there's any reason that I'm not thinking of that this would cause a problem down the road for him if I should start discouraging it.
Can you transfer it to other items?
Let's say if we're out and about and we stop in like a relief area or something, if I take him to Universal, for example, and we're in one of the relief areas, he'll try to pick up like a piece of mulch or something instead. Like he'll try to find something else to pick up.
Oh, will he carry other things though? Like will he carry keys and he'll carry?
Yeah. If I ask him to carry other things, he will. But that's just his tell recently for I need to go use the bathroom is his duck.
And will he go out other times without the duck if he didn't bring you, like if he didn't have the duck and you said, okay, Valdosta, come outside, will he go out with you?
Yes. Well, the only time I've tried that is when he's like fully dressed and we're leaving the house to go out on an errand.
Try it and see.
So if he
has
his vest on and if I put a shoes on, then he'll walk right up.
Yeah, you don't want him to get so dependent, and that's the only way he'll go out. So try it and see when he's not focused on the duck and not dressed to go somewhere, you know, just get him, hey, let's go outside, see what he'll do. Yeah, because we want to encourage them to carry things. We just don't want to have them dependent on one thing or the other.
I was afraid, like at first it was just this cute little quirk, but now it's every time we go outside. So is this going to be a problem?
Well, I mean, it's great that he's carrying something and that he'll hold it for a long time.
Yeah, if I take his duck out of his mouth, he holds his leash and he wants to walk himself. He wants me to let go of the leash and he wants to carry it himself.
Does he pull on it? Does he pull on the leash? No.
No, if he does, then I'll stop walking and then he'll like reach the end of the leash and get pulled back. And then I'll just tell him to like side or heel and he'll walk right back and like reset himself. But he doesn't.
Yeah, I would try to.
You try something completely different, like hide the duck and put something completely different and have that as the carry toy. And then like once every 4 or 5 days, just keep swapping it. So it no longer matters what it is. He just wants something to carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, and I'm wondering if that will transfer to like carrying a bag out of the store, because obviously he can hold things in his mouth for an extended period, which is great. I mean, that's one of the things, some of these
Yeah.
dogs have an aversion to that, carrying something for a while. So that would be, yeah. Yep. That's cute.
It's pretty cute. Yeah. He has quite the reputation in our neighborhood now. Everyone sees the cute little golden with the duck in his mouth.
Yes, yes. Oh my
Everyone
gosh.
stops to wave.
That's too funny.
In addition to swapping out the duck, give the items names. So let him know
He
he's
does know
got the
duck.
duck, and then
Mhm.
if you find
He
What's that?
does know duck. If I tell him to go
Right,
get duck, he'll
so
go get it.
hide the duck and pick a different toy, like a stuffed pig or a stuffed elephant or whatever, and let him know that's that item's name. And then after a while, you may be able to have him figure out, okay, get your duck, get your elephant, get the bag. Should be a fun
Keys,
learning.
get the leash, get your shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a behavior. So if you reinforce it with more behaviors, it could go pretty far with a lot of tasks.
Yeah, I could start adding to him. Right now, he knows like get dressed. He'll go bring me his vest. He knows get his shoes. He knows how to get his leash, and he can distinguish between those items. So I should keep adding to those that list.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Other things? Other questions, other comments?
Okay, if nobody else has something, I do have another question, and I'm not
Okay.
sure if this is the right place to do it or not, but I need to know how I can get permission to officially use a gentle leader on Corduroy. He is 100% out of control when we are in public and there is another dog around. When we were in DeLand for the booth that was there,
Uh-huh.
me trying to walk him in by myself, my husband was parking, and get to our booth, he was so bad, somebody that was trying to talk to me to sign me up for something finally said, I'm going to let you go. I'm afraid you're going to get hurt. And to me, that with him in his vest has got to have a much worse image for New Horizons than a dog and a gentle leader. I mean, he's
Right.
out of control. I cannot control him. So we have a gentle leader from our old dog, and I tried it, and oh my, we even took him to Bark and Brew in Oviedo, and that's all there were dogs, and I was like traumatized after the last time. He was almost perfect. So what do I need to do to get official permission to be able to use this? I mean, I was black and blue after the last few times before I went to that, because anyway, it's bad.
Okay.
Kelly,
Caitlin?
so I got your voice. I said, oh, sorry, are you talking, Wendy?
No, I just was saying,
No.
Caitlin.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm covered in cheese. It took me a second to unmute and put my video on. But I got your voicemail, Kelly, and I sent you an email. I don't think I saw an answer back. Are you going to be at IKEA now that it's moved to Sunday?
I will.
Okay, so I talked to Janet, and we have something that we use called it's a black dog collar or
Yep.
lead. I guess it's similar to a gentle leader, but it's a little different. So I'm gonna bring one of those, and then I was gonna have Wendy, who's supposed to be there Sunday, look at Corduroy to see, and then make the decision if we're gonna use one for him.
Okay. All right. I'll be honest. I have been, just because, I mean, I was bruised. It was horrendous.
Yeah, and they're
And-
strong dogs.
Yeah. And evidently I'm not very strong at all.
Time to lift weights, Kelly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so reminder for those of you maybe that didn't see an email or the Facebook notice, we are changing the original training was Friday night. Things have switched up a little bit. We are doing a rotation Friday, so and I am driving, so the training will be Sunday at IKEA at 1:30 to 3:30. So I am hoping, planning on being there a little bit early. So anybody who might have training questions or want something, I mean, we usually answer those during training, but I know I have one person coming a little early, and I can't really remember why, but yeah, so we'll be there Sunday. I'll also hopefully bringing Laura's scissors because I can't find mine. And so if you need a dog trim on their feet or just need to see how I do it, I'll have those with me. So yeah, so that's this Sunday. Is Goose going back, Melina? Is he in the rotation?
Yeah.
Yes, I will be taking him. Yep,
Not happy.
I know. I know. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Are you getting another one?
I am. I just my schedule is just really bad this week. I was hoping for Friday because that was like my most open day, but now that you moved it to Sunday, that's gonna be kind of hard for me.
Oh, for training. I gotcha. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I get it. Yeah, just that's how it all worked out. So tried to give people as much notice as possible, but just things happen. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you. All right, other comments, questions? Everybody's quiet. So I guess, Kelly, I have a question for you. So since you use a gentle lead on Corduroy, have you taken him out? Did you say you took him out with it on? And it made all the difference?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
including to, once I got him used to it, it took a few times to get him used to it, but we took him to Bark and Brew, which was
Okay, okay.
beer and dogs everywhere. And it was to the point that I pretty much didn't even have to, you know, I've got the leash that you can kind of wrap around yourself. I didn't even have to hold the leash except for when it got so many people. He was that good. So
Wow. Okay.
it was like life-changingly
Okay.
different for me.
Did you reward him, like praise him, give him,
Oh
like
yeah.
make a big deal of it? Okay, good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's
no, I was stunned. Like I was so nervous. I figured my husband would have to keep him most of the time. I talked to him so much that people kept making comments to me about how much I was talking to him to get him prepped and hoping he would do okay and how
Mhm.
well he was doing once we got there. So no, it's night and day difference.
good.
So
That's good. Yeah, you know, we don't love to use those, but sometimes it's necessary.
can I ask why? What is the reason to not use it?
So I guess there's been issues with the whatever, what is it, gentle lead, with the gentle leader, the way that it pulls on them. But they do work it, and it's also just knowing like how long some people put a gentle leader on their dog and they never again try to take the dog out without the gentle lead on. And they use that where the dog probably could have gotten it so we encourage people, if you're going to use it intermittently, you know, so you knew you were going to a place with a lot of dogs. That seemed to really work, right? Now maybe the next place you go where maybe there aren't as many dogs or no dogs, use it without. So I guess my question is, does he pull when dogs are not an issue?
Not usually, no.
Okay, so his leash walking is pretty good,
It is, yeah.
other
for the
than
most-
when he sees another dog. Okay,
Right.
so the goal is to learn how to use it, not for that to become your be all end all. Like
Okay.
you realizing as a handler, okay, I know when I was in this situation, it made a huge difference. Going to use it now, but I know the next time when I go wherever, I don't need to use it. And the problem is, handlers sometimes lean on them too much. That's one of the things
Okay.
why we try not to use them, because we want our dogs to
And
be
what
able
is-
to learn to be around dogs and to handle themselves appropriately.
Right.
When he's being good,
with it on, you can try flipping it down. And if he continues to be good, he gets positive reinforcement, put it back up before he loses his mind,
Okay.
but give him the opportunity to have it off and behave.
Yep.
The first time it might be, you have to put it back up right away because he loses his mind. But the goal is then to just kind of, oh, you're being really good. We're gonna take this off now. Maintain. You know what to do. Oh, nope. Okay, here we go. And eventually your confidence will improve too, because right now you're a little shaky, I'm sure, about having him out without it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, he's gonna feed on that a little bit.
Yep.
So
Yep.
as you're more confident that he knows how to behave, it'll be easier for him to behave without it.
Yes. And I believe that I will be there dogless on Sunday. I believe my little kayak boy is heading to prison, so I will have hands free, literally, to help with
Okay.
dogs and just
Yeah, I
work
would
with
love to
different
see if
dogs.
somebody else can control him any better, because I was planning on coming in a gentle leader, just because that way I'm not
Okay.
mortified by his behavior.
Yep, I would absolutely bring it.
But if
You
somebody
know
else can
he
do it
behaves,
without,
and
I
you
would
know,
love it.
yeah, you know he's gonna see a lot of dogs. So where you going, buddy? Where you going? You want to say bye to everybody that you're leaving? Say bye, everybody. This is my last Zoom, right? Yes. Yes, you've been a good boy, haven't you? Yes, we're gonna miss each other. He's been my buddy. Huh. Yes. All right, other comments, questions?
Wendy,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
is Jeepers going in rotation or not? Or
That's a Caitlin question.
maybe?
I can't
I-
answer that.
I'm not, he's actually recovering from a injury about a week or so ago. So I'm not sure about this week.
Okay,
Actually, I have to
just
ask.
wondering, because there's a dog, Wendy, if you need one.
Yes, that's true. That is true. Yes, I was going to take him, but then he got hurt. So, okay.
Really quick on that note about lack of dogs at the training. Mackenzie Crisp isn't able to go now that it got changed.
Right.
And so she
Yep.
said if somebody wants to bring Fiji, so I was thinking I might try to swing by with Fiji. So do you think you could maybe, like, let's say if you were working with Corduroy, could you maybe let Kelly have Fiji for a little bit?
Mhm.
Although I'm bringing, you're coming with me, right, babe?
To what?
I can't, I might be able to give Fiji to Russ. To what he says.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
we'll make it work.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Other things.
So Wendy, another dog?
What? Am I glitchy or are you all glitchy?
I said, are you getting another dog?
We're discussing that. My spouse and I are talking about it. So I can't answer your question right now because I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. I already answered that question. Okay. Other questions? Anything, Laura, that we could share? I did share about the parades. I did share about them making sure they're underneath, especially our Golden's feet was trimmed.
So the two parades, the 3rd, one in the morning, one in the evening. The 11th is the pictures with Santa. I saw a thing
Yes.
about that.
Thank you.
And that was 3 to 5. And we're going to try to do training 3 to 4. And then the picture part is 4 to 5. And we do have a reservation at 4th Street for anybody anybody that wants to come and have dinner and hang out, and maybe it'll be cool enough to you enjoy the fireplace, and maybe we'll be under the ceiling fans. It's hard to tell.
And that's on the 11th of,
Yes. Yep.
Sunday the 11th. Yes.
Yep.
and it's going to be where?
In Lake Mary.
Lake Mary City Park.
That's down in Orlando somewhere.
It's in Lake
No,
Mary.
it's in Lake Mary.
It's in Lake Mary. It's exit 98.
North of Orlando.
North of Orlando.
Yeah, north
Yep.
of Orlando, south of Sanford.
Okay, no.
Yeah, Laura and I taught the couple that does it. They do Santa and Mrs. Claus. They come
We
fully
didn't
dressed.
teach Santa and Mrs.
No,
Claus.
we
We're not
didn't.
that old.
No, we taught their daughter. So they always contact me every year and ask. They normally do it. They charge a fee, but for nonprofits they are free. So you know, if you're willing to make a donation to them, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Last year, I think we took a few bucks from everybody and we got them a gift card. We just appreciate that they're willing to come, and the pictures are way too cute. And the dog, it's great for the dogs to see these people dressed up in character. I mean, this guy's in full beard, and so it's great. It's real good for the dogs to see. And then you get your dog's picture and your picture, whoever you want. I mean, bring your whole family if you want, but it's free. So super nice people, and they look adorable. In fact, I don't know if I have a picture, but yeah. So that's the 11th.
And just a possibility of a coming attraction, we are in negotiation with the Sanford Airport to do a training at the airport with the baggage carousels, and possibly even going through TSA so that we could practice before you actually try to fly with a dog. So that's in negotiation, and if all goes well, we'll let you know when and where. Well, where, but when.
Yes. All right.
That is not a golden.
That is not a goal or a lab.
Or a lab.
Come on. Oh, so here's Hillary with her doggie last year, and Santa and Mrs. Claus.
My Tupac. I miss him.
Here's a better one with her. So it's real cute. Lake Mary has a nice, Lake Mary City Park they're decorated. They have a beautiful tree up. So it's a nice area to go. And oh yeah, here's Sammy Lee with her service dog. So it's real cute. It's they do a nice job. The dogs love it. Here's two dogs and Santa and Mrs. Claus. So if you're able to make it, great. I realize some of you are not able to do that, but yeah. Okay. Other things, other questions, other comments? I did put it out there on the Facebook page about the opportunity to go to the prison. So people have reached out to me. We have a few people going. If obviously it doesn't work for you this time, that's fine. I think that the executive director is trying to plan some other visits. So, you know, I know some of you had reached out to me and said, oh, I'd love to go. I just can't. So,
One thing too, remember, if you're turning a dog in this time, do a letter to their inmate raiser, introduce your dog, put a picture in. That the inmates really appreciate the pictures because they don't have any way to get them themselves. And in December, maybe at the 11th event, we'll try to get Christmas cards with a picture. If you have a prison pup, if you would do just the dog's name on the card, we'll get it to the last inmate that had it so that they would get picture of a dog that they've helped raise and a card. It's a tough time. Anytime's a tough day to be in prison, but I would expect the holidays are especially bad. So those inmates are an integral part of our raising process, and it's nice if we can show a little appreciation.
Yep.
Anyone know if Tupac's still in prison? Can I send my old dog a Christmas card? Is that weird?
He's not coming out this rotation.
So he would still be there for Christmas? So I could send his handler?
Yeah.
I don't. Hold on. Where is he? Sorry, I'm not. Yeah, I think he's still gonna be in for a little bit. Yeah, I'd say till early next year.
Okay. Poor boy.
Yep.
He's just getting polished. He's
that's
just
right.
getting polished, Hillary.
He is a work in progress.
He will come out so shiny.
Yep. It's true. It's true. Yeah, that just reminded me of something and then I forgot. All right. Anybody else? Comments, questions? So I will kind of throw this out there. There is talk of graduation. So no date set. No, I think in the next few months, possibly. Just be aware of that. I know that Christy will work hard to get the date out as soon as she is able. But it is there will be a lot of dogs graduating. If you've not ever come to a graduation, it is a really cool event to attend, even if you don't have a dog. So I think that's something that's in the works, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a date soon. So, and we may be calling on people to help. There's a lot of things to do for graduation, and we need, we need volunteers. So. Anything else? Anybody else? Questions or comments? Now's your chance. Even if you just want to share how your dog is doing, we would love to hear that. Or not doing.
Y'all are so quiet.
I know. Such a quiet group. Scares me. I like it when people talk.
I could tell everybody how Velma's being a terror lately. Can you stop it, man? Although Wendy and I talked about more leash in the house, more crating. She's somehow chewing the wall. I don't get how she's opening her mouth enough, but we have a spot where it's just spackle and she keeps trying to eat it. So yeah, she destroyed the cat tower too very well over the last couple weeks. And she is trying to take apart a chair right now.
Too much freedom. Too much freedom.
Well, of course, Russ just walked away, so he's not hearing that because he's the one who's home with her every day.
Too much freedom. Yep.
Let's see if I.
So y'all have to remember though that Velma is a breeder. So if Caitlin ruins her, that won't be a problem.
And if you've got an X Pen or access to one, you can block off areas using an X Pen.
Yep.
Shaggy was going to chew a corner in our kitchen, and I just put the X Pen up in front of it, and he couldn't get to it.
Yep.
I could restrict him coming into the kitchen by just throwing that across the doorway.
Yeah, and we have another baby gate that I need to put back up because she's Russ said I shouldn't tell you guys this, and I probably shouldn't, but in the last week she has peed on the couch twice, which has never happened before. So obviously I'm keeping an eye for UTI. The first time he was going to take her out in the morning like he always does, and he stopped to get Siri out of her room, and instead of going to the door, Velma hopped up on the couch and peed. Like, I guess she couldn't wait, but apparently she did it today. So I don't know, either we just suck or it's guy. So I'm not sure.
Dog pee is very strong. And once,
Well, and this is a brand new couch. This
I
isn't the one
know.
kayak feet on. That one went bye-bye.
mm,
So
yeah,
anyway,
Yep.
it's fun
So
here.
yeah, maybe she comes out of the crate on a leash until she goes out.
Yeah.
yep,
You know, she comes out of the crate in the morning and she's leashed and she goes out on a leash. She can be unleashed to go outside in the backyard, but she comes back in the house on lead.
yep, yep. Because whether they're a breeder or a dog that's being raised for somebody else, you want a well-behaved dog. You don't want somebody who's a terror.
No, and
So-
I don't want a pee couch.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when Kayak came with us, I didn't know what he would be like, but he was very restricted at first. I had him on a leash and we were even in a smaller place that we started with. So he didn't have hardly any room at all. I mean, we went out and played outside, but in the trailer, he was leashed. Now I can trust him for the most part to have free reign. He can go, there's an actual hallway now. So he can lay in the hallway. But at first he didn't get a lot of that because I didn't know him. And he was 6 months old. So
And even dogs that are really good and 6 months old, if they're left to their own devices,
That's
unsupervised,
yep.
they've been known to counter surf or do things that they've never done before
Yep.
because they are dogs.
Yep.
I think it's that teenage stage too, which I guess I haven't seen the transition because we got her at 8 months. So she was chaos when we got her. But Velma had
You
become
got
such
her
a-
at 8 weeks. You got
No,
Velma
no,
at 8 months?
No, we got Siri at 8 months.
Siri.
Oh, got
So
you.
she just came as chaos. No, Velma, but she'd been doing so good. And about 2 weeks ago, at 7 months, it's like a switch flipped. And all of a sudden, everything she never did, biting us, jumping up, chewing on everything she's not supposed to. It's just all of it. So we're working on that. Probably not good enough. Once you don't have Kayak, if you want to take her for a few days, Wendy, whip her into shape.
Well,
She's gonna leash her.
One of the things to keep in mind is eliminating opportunity.
Yep.
Having her on a leash, putting barriers up, moving the chairs.
Yep.
And the secondary thing is your response to the behavior. If she peed on the sofa and your response was excitement, that's not good. Or if she's tearing the wall up and your response is screaming and jumping up and down, you're reinforcing that behavior as a good thing.
right.
Once behaviors happened, your reinforcement is to pretend it didn't happen and eliminate the opportunity for a repeat visit. But if you react to something your puppy has done, you're reinforcing that behavior. And even though it's not a good reinforcement to us, to
Right.
them, you're excited.
Yep.
Any attention is good attention. It's when you're a dog. And
Yep.
actually for children too, sometimes,
Yes.
unfortunately.
And I'll have to talk to Russ about that. I don't know how I wasn't here today when the peeing incident happened. So I'll have to double check with him, but that's a good thing to point out, Kenny.
Yep.
Okay, enough about me talking about how bad of a trainer I am. Somebody else fill the silence. We got 9 minutes left.
No, we can quit at any time.
Yeah.
Anytime. If you guys are done. We just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to ask or share or whatever you need to do.
Hey,
So,
Jules,
I got-
how's the barking?
I was just gonna talk about that and him jumping on the couch. The barking is still on and off. And then the jumping on the couch to test us is still on and off. As soon as we start walking towards him, he'll jump off. But he's gotten a little more ballsy now. He'll jump up on the couch and then lay down and look at us and wait for us to come over, and then he jumps off.
Yep.
So
I'm
he's
nodding
Welcome
really
to a
testing
teenage
us.
dog.
Yes. I'm nodding my head because I'm seeing the same thing with Kayak. Same thing. It doesn't happen often, but a couple times a day he'll jump up and yeah, when he's not given permission and I have to go, I can say off from a distance and he'll just look at me. But as soon as I go up to him and say off, he's like, oh, okay, I'll get off. The delayed reaction. Yeah.
You want to hear my sneaky dog story that's related to this? So I have cameras around my apartment that I just have so I can like check on the cats or if I leave the dog home alone or something, but they don't record. But a month or so ago, I noticed there's a lot of blonde hair on my bed that obviously is not mine. And I'm like, what is happening? The dog does not get on the bed like ever. So I turned on the motion overnight to record us while we're sleeping and Valdosta because he's not in the crate every single night. So a couple nights a week, I'll let him out. And in the middle of the night, he'll come over and he'll inspect me from the floor to see if I'm like sound asleep. And then he'll sneak to the other side of the bed and jump on the bed while I'm sound asleep. And it doesn't wake me up. And he'll stay there. And the moment I move, he is right off the bed and he goes right back to his corner and he lays down in his bed. And I'm like, what? And I don't wake up. What is
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He does not let me catch him. And I'm like, oh, he is smart.
Yep. Yep. They are. They are. That's cute. That's cute. But at least he knows, like the second you move.
He knows he's not allowed on the
yes,
bed.
that's funny. Yep.
But it also
Oh.
doesn't wake me up, so that's concerning.
Well, because he's probably super like gentle.
He's so gentle. Yeah.
Yep. That's cute.
it is very cute.
That's funny. And that you
Hey,
caught him.
Mhm.
Another thing, if you want an experience opportunity for your puppies tonight at 1 a.m., they're launching that big rocket
Yeah,
off
they are.
Cape Canaveral.
Oh,
Excited.
nice.
Very, very few puppies are going to get to see a rocket launch out in the sky. So no matter where you are, you should be able to see it.
1 a.m., huh?
Yeah.
All
And
right, I
with
better-
Artemis, it's a big one.
I better go to bed now.
I don't know where your trailer is. I don't know where your trailer is tonight. You may actually feel it.
We're in a Popka.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is one of the biggest launches, like in terms of like the size of the vehicle that we've had in decades. It's a big one.
Wow. So glad you told me that because that would have scared the crap out of me in the middle of the night. Wow.
1 a.m. Not tonight.
Okay, 1 a.m. Well, yes. There's a rocket going off, apparently a big one. So I remember when we heard the first, what was it, Tim? The first sonic boom when we first moved to Florida 25 years ago. Oh my gosh. Scared us so bad. Had no idea what it was. So. All right, rocket launch tonight, kayak. We did try to see one when we were somewhere. I don't know. We were in Florida and we tried to see one, but I know, we were in Flagler and we could have seen it, but the sky was somewhat cloudy and it wasn't a good view. But I'm pretty sure the rocket went up. So we were disappointed. And why are they sending it off at 1 a.m.? I wonder. Do they go off at that at time often?
They do, actually. I think it's just whatever trajectory that they need to get.
That's what Tim
It's a
just said.
2-hour window that opens like 1:04 a.m. and then it's available for 2 hours.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Well,
Night launches are the best ones to see. They send them up all day long, all the time. But this is the big monster rocket, and it's at 1 a.m. So it should really light up.
all right. Well, I might have to go to bed now and get up at 1 a.m. All right. Any other questions or concerns that you have? Going once, going twice. Okay. So just a couple of reminders in regards to what's upcoming. Hold on. I'll go back to so we're in November right now. In-person training is this Sunday, not Friday. Okay. Same location. Time, I believe, is 1:30 to 3:30. And then our Zoom training for December will be on 12/1. The Christmas parades are 12/3, which is a Saturday. And then there'll be an in-person training. So that the in-person training for December is that Santa Claus, the Santa photos. That's the in-person training. Okay. And So the January in-person training is to be determined. It is not, the location has not been determined yet, but it will be, and we'll let you know. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, the newsletter did go out. If you didn't get it, let us know in the chat. It's got lots of stuff in it. You might have to read it in shifts. Because there's a lot of information. Like, I can't take that all in one sitting. I have to read a little bit of it, and then I go on and come back to a little bit later. So there's some great information in it though, but just check it out. And so if any, those of you that are turning your dog in this Friday or for this rotation, thank you for being a raiser. New Horizons couldn't do it without you. And we really, really appreciate it. I know that it's hard. I get it. I feel like I haven't turned a dog in a while, and this one's going to hurt. They all hurt, but this one's going to be, because we've spent a lot of time together. So it's going to be hard. So just know that we're thinking about you, and, you know, we appreciate it, and you're going to see them down the road, doing some great things. So anything else, Laura?
And the best cure for turning in a dog and feeling dogless is getting another one.
It's true. That's true. Yep. 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 Mhm.
Velma, quiet. Wendy, you're over here making me feel bad because I'm the reason I pushed you
Don't
to take
you?
kayak.
No, you shouldn't feel bad. It's what
I
I
feel a little
do.
bit-
You don't feel bad at all. It's what I do. I love this dog. I have had a great time with him. Laura, did you see that Jules said they're not getting the newsletter?
I did. I was going to ask Caitlin to get that email from the chat and add it to the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. It's what we do. It's just this particular dog I've had the honor and pleasure of spending a lot of time with because I'm not teaching full time. So, you know, we've done a lot of traveling and fun, and so it'll be difficult, but it's all right. I'm a big girl. Put my big girl pants on.
Big girls
Yes.
don't cry.
Oh, well, there will
Yes,
definitely
they
be
do.
crying.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
There will
I
be.
have
crying.
another question.
Yes.
Did you guys get Lauren's email about us coming down to Florida with Canyon at the end of December?
I thought I did get it. I thought I answered it, but I might have to go back. Maybe it's in my drafts. So I will check that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Cool. We'll get to see you. Yeah.
Yay. It's 8:01. We are out. As long as if you had a question and didn't answer it, please, I'm going to put, Laura, put your number in the chat.